Good evening again. We are headed back out to the Lavacast Forest for the third time in a row for another little car that tried to go out there and got stuck in the snow. I don't know what's going on this week, but apparently a bunch of people think it's a good time to go check out the lava flow, but it is not. And as you can see, we're not in the Dodge today. Well, I don't know if you can see or not, it's pretty dark, but we're not in the Dodge, we're not in any of the tow trucks either, and we're also not in my wife's Jeep this time. That is because I got a little surprise for you guys that you'll see here in probably about 20 minutes. Well, 20 minutes for me, it's going to be about 30 seconds for you. So from what I can gather on this one, it sounds like these people are in a little bit different spot. They're really close to the same area as the other two. Same road actually, but it sounds like they tried going in a little different way. It looks like they went in the same way that Austin and I tried going in the first time when we went and got the Subaru, which is the most sensible way to go in there because that is the road that both those other ones were on, but we just couldn't get all the way to them on that road, and that's why we had to loop around through the desert. So this time we're going to go back down and go back in the same way we did the first time and hopefully get to them that way. Hopefully they didn't make it to the point where I got stuck last time, so we don't have to deal with that again, but we'll see when we get there. And also, no Austin this time. Just me. It's funny how after that first one, now when I say Lavacast, all of a sudden he's busy, but maybe he'll come along again on another one once he forgets about how bad that one was. Okay, we're pulling back in here to the country store to get some supplies, snacks and drinks and stuff for the trip. And we'll head out to the woods. And if you want to go take your sailboat out but you don't have a pickup, call up U-Haul. They'll get you hooked up. Alright, we got us some supplies. Nothing too crazy, just enough to survive the night if we don't make it back. But here is the surprise I have for you, if I can figure out. Yep, there we go. The new off-road rig. Check this thing out. This will be its first job. Totally untested off-road, so that's why I got supplies just in case. Got a 9,500 pound winch on the front, 33-inch tires, 4.5-inch lift, some armor around the side. It's gonna get a new winch on the rear, so it'll have front and rear winch like the truck does. Roof rack, got it loaded up with gear, and let's go see how it does. Alright, we're hitting the highway. We're gonna head south of town a ways and then head into the woods from the west side like we did the first time. And one thing I forgot to mention about this Jeep that was a huge selling point, aside from the fact that it's red, got a bunch of stuff done to it, is it has the 5.2 V8 in it instead of the little 4.0 straight 6. So it's not a huge powerhouse, but it is a lot torquier of a motor. So pulling people up hills and getting through the snow and stuff like that, it should help out quite a bit. But I guess we'll find out if I was right or wrong about that here in just a bit. So we are pulling off the highway, gonna head back underneath it and out into the woods to see how this thing does. I think we'll get up here just a little ways onto the dirt and stop and air down the tires. I don't have the rear winch set up on it yet. Obviously I got to run power back there and mount it up and all that, so I kind of want every advantage I can get so that I don't get stuck like every other time. So we'll air down the tires up here to help out and see how it goes from there. Okay, we're right here at the start of the dirt where everything switches over from pavement. And I got the tire deflators on. There it is. Get the tires aired down and then we'll head out and see what kind of trouble we can get into. So we are up into the snow. It's nothing too crazy or deep yet. It's just about 6 inches or so and a couple of dry spots on the road. Okay, we're not too far away according to the pin drop here, and we haven't even gotten any of the deep snow yet, so I'm not quite sure what kind of situation they're in, but we should find out soon. I skipped most of the driving up the road part because you've seen it about 5 times already. According to this, we should come around this corner up here and see them. Google Maps and pin drop certainly make this a hell of a lot easier, but that's also what got them out here in the first place, so. Well, I guess that means it's good for me all the way around. Yep, and I see some lights. Oh, looks like they got into the ditch on the side of the road. Okay, that should be a fairly easy one. Yep, just slid off over into the ditch. The snow is really hard and icy right now, so I can see that happening pretty take a look and see what we got. All right, this should be a fairly easy one. And I know I shouldn't say that, but they just got slipped into the ditch. I'm gonna go up here in front of them and turn around. There's this nice patch of dirt here in front. I can turn around and winch them up onto it, and then they can turn around right here and head back out. So let me get turned around so I can winch them off the front, because I don't have a rear winch just yet. And yes, I know this would be a good one to do a kinetic rope recovery on, and I do have my kinetic rope with me, but I'm not a huge fan of yanking with that, especially, turn off this light bar, especially when it's not me or one of my guys in the other vehicle, just because I don't know the other driver. So we'll just winch them out. It's a safe and easy way to do it, just takes a little longer. A little more to the driver's side. Okay, now just let it pull and you sit there in neutral. A little more driver's side. A little more. Right there. And just hold it right there and let it pull you. One thing I for sure didn't leave out of this Jeep, the ice chocks. It's one of my favorite tools I have. Okay, straighten your wheel. Right there, just hold that. Okay, turn to the passenger side. Okay, hit the brakes there. You can come back a little farther. Right there. Perfect. Now try to get in the middle of those ruts up there in front of me. Perfect. Okay, I got them heading out. I'm gonna go load my ice chocks back up and follow them out to make sure they make it and get back out of here. This winch is a CSI winch. So it's got a power button over here. CSI winch, I've never heard of that before. I'm sure it's a copy of a Smittybilt or a something or another, or even the Harbor Freights, who knows, but worked really well. See how well it holds up. I got the shovel holding up the hatch there. Got to get some new struts for it, but that's no big deal. All right, let's head down the road and make sure they make it out. So you know what I've been noticing is that when Austin stays home, these jobs are a hell of a lot easier. Something to think about. Okay, hopefully they take a right at this intersection. Perfect, because right is the way out of here. Good job. Now we're back on one of the bigger Forest Service roads, but there's still, I mean, it's dirt here, but up ahead there's still some pretty good chunks of it that are snow and ice. So as long as they stay in the middle and don't slide off to the side, we're golden. So here's what I'm talking about. We're back into snow-covered road, which is weird because we're going down in elevation and the snow's getting worse. And then it gets dry again, and then we go down in elevation and it gets worse again. So it's all kind of backwards out here. See? Now we're back to dry road again. Heading downhill, and as we get down farther in elevation, we'll be back in the snow. Doesn't make any sense. Look, now it's actually dusty that it's so dry. See? We're about another 1.5 miles down the road, probably 200-300 feet lower in elevation. And it's snowing again. Well, not snowing, but we're back in the snow. Ooh, soft spot right there. back out of it, back onto dirt. We made it back to the pavement, and this road leads straight out to the highway, so I'll stop before we get on the highway and air the tires back up. Definitely did not need to air the tires down on this one. It wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be, but at least it smoothed out the ride for us and made it a little bit easier on everything, so no problem. And there they go. Back on the highway. Okay, you got the CO2 tank going, getting the tires aired back up. The CO2 tank I definitely had to throw in here. I used this in my last Jeep a lot and absolutely loved it. Way faster than air compressor like in the truck, especially with these tires that are quite a bit bigger than the pickup tires. So I had to build a mount in the back there for this thing so it can stay in there permanently. Make life way easier. Okay, got the tires aired back up. Get the tank and hoses loaded back up, and I definitely need to build some sort of organization mount setup in here to mount the tank, organize the totes to have. This one has all my synthetic and soft gear in it. This one back here has all the heavy snatch blocks, steel gear, chains, stuff like that. So definitely need to make some organization setup back here, some mounts for everything to make it permanent and solid, and we'll be good to go. Oh, and got to fix those struts so I can put the shovel back on top. Back on the highway. Head back to town to see what else we can get into. Just out of curiosity, we're going to pull into the scales here. See how heavy this thing is. I wonder if we can fit the whole thing on the scale pad. Might be short enough. Oh yeah. So it is, what the hell? Oh, I see. It is 4,800 pounds fully loaded with gear. So substantially lighter than my Dodge, which makes a massive difference out in the snow, as we learned in the last video. Okay, just pulled here into the car wash because why not wash your car when it's 25 degrees out? Get some of this loose stuff knocked off. Wow, that looks better. Okay, let's head home. Oh good, the windshield wipers work. I didn't actually check that out before I bought it. One thing that kind of sucks is I spent all that time staring through a cracked windshield in my pickup. Then as soon as my wife gets it fixed, I buy another rig with a cracked windshield. So, oh well, it is what it is. Let's head home and go to bed. Well, we're almost back home. That went really good. It's a quick, easy little winch out. The winch out was quick, the job wasn't quick. It took hours to get there and back, but once we got there, the pulling them out part went really well. Jeep did good. I'm happy with it. Definitely some things I want to change and upgrade and make a little easier, but happy with how it went. So we'll definitely be using this thing on a lot more off-road jobs, and dude, I might just use it as my daily driver because I like Jeeps. So that's it for now.